If you're not and you're watching, thank you for your help all season, because it has been a pleasure to have all of you work with us once again. Better get your parkas ready and your mittens and your gloves, because the season starts early next year, February 26th. The 2022 season. We hope to have you all back with us again. The second half underway here at TQL Stadium. The final 45 minutes of the regular season have the orange and blue leading by a goal. Those switch ends. FC Cincinnati will attack towards the Bailey and have Brad Guzan with all that noise over his shoulders here in the second half. And Atlanta will work left to right in all white. George Bello charging forward, trying to tap it off towards Joseph Martinez. Actually gets deflected right back to Bello, and then a good job defensively there. Tyler Blackett stuck his foot in and poked it away. We did have one substitution for Atlanta at the half. Here's the defensive play, and then I'll tell you about the sub for the visitors.
Just again, you talked about Tyler Blackett just getting that decisive touch, but for a moment the space had opened up and George Bello had bombed forward, probably made a 50-yard run in total.
So a substitution on the back line for Atlanta United as Antoine Walks has come out and Jake Mulroney into the match. And I'm thinking that means a change in tactics a bit. We'll keep an eye on the situation and see if they've changed their formation a bit. It appears they have, with now 4 at the back instead of 5. Yuya Kubo. Mulroney just 5'8", as Costas cut down in the midfield by Luis Araujo. And Araujo just got his final warning.
Well, I agree with you, Tommy. I think there's definitely been a change in system. Looks like they're just matching FC Cincinnati into a 4-4-2. I think Barco's going to stay high with Martinez. We saw Mulroney come on too, and he's going to start on that left-hand side of midfield.
Kubo trying to spin away from Rossetto. Kubo will be drawn down and wanted a foul, didn't get it. Rossetto now through the midfield for Atlanta. Rossetto over to the near side. Hernandez making his 8th start of the season, trying to get around Matarrita. Matarrita using his body, trying to hold him off. Hernandez stayed on his feet. Hernandez into the 18, deflected by Bailey dangerously, and then Vermeer has to dive across the 6 to collect the ball. Nervy moments for Cincinnati here at the start of the second half. Rossetto in the middle, Ibarra. Barco. And up to Martinez. On to Bello, far side. That pushes Franco and Miles Robinson in as the 2 center backs.
Yeah, and I think I was talking about a 4-4-2, but look, really, I think Barco's going to have a free role in this.
Yes.
There's going to be times he's going to drift into midfield to reflect more of a 4-5-1, but with FC Cincinnati, they've just got to be aware of that in that central position. That 3 against 2 situation. There's going to be times I think one of the forwards is going to have to drop back and add some additional support.
Zico Bailey, a nice job there defensively. He was falling down and able to stay with the ball. Maduninen pushes it forward to Vasquez. Looking for a cross in the direction of Brenner. Took a deflection. Guzan will come over to collect the ball at the edge of the 18. And a bit of a compliment look to FC Cincinnati that Atlanta sees that they have to make a change in the second half to try to get on the scoreboard here.
Well, I think, looking at kind of how they came out in that 3-4-3 as well, there was times that they had space. I think they were able to get players, in some of those lines, in between the lines at least. But FC Cincinnati did a very good job being compact. I think with this, Atlanta's going to try to stretch out a little bit, as I talked about, playing 4 maybe flat across. Those kind of natural wingers to stay all the way wide and high at times. Maybe try to stretch FC Cincinnati further.
There's a cross in the direction of Martinez. It'll come out to Hernandez. Hernandez right at the edge of the 18 towards the penalty area, headed away by Stanko. With 1 right back by Atlanta. Atlanta United hasn't lost in over a month. Barco. Over to the left, Bello has some room into the penalty area. Drawn back and then poked away by Matarrita. Bailey is down. Now Matarrita goes down. And Ronald Matarrita and Zico Bailey remain down as Cincinnati trying to get forward in their attack. Kubo.
FC Cincinnati certainly got to be aware of the situation. 2 players down.
Both of the fullbacks Zico Bailey tried to get back up. Matarrita was waving for help immediately, and the Costa Rican Football Federation holds their collective breath right now with one of their regular starters down and planning to rejoin the Ticos tomorrow. So the medical staff will split up and attend to the two fullbacks for Tyrone Marshall. Chris Duval did not dress for this match today. Here's a look at the contact.
I think it's two separate incidents. Yeah.
Bailey looked like he had a funny step there, and then here comes Matarrita.
It's just right there. Yeah.
Edgar Castillo is dressed, so that would be an option at fullback. Obviously, Edgar has filled in for Matarrita quite a bit this season when he's been out on international duty. And then Joe Zhao is dressed, so he could play, obviously, at fullback as well. Zico Bailey's going to walk off to the far side, while Matarrita is going to trot to the near side, so that when he's signaled back in, and the good news right now, it appears that
they still be balanced. They're not coming from the same side.
Right.
If they come in at the same time, that is.
And Matarrita is already asking for permission to return. He's been
Zico
granted
Bailey's
that.
back in too.
So good news for Tyrone Marshall as he was looking over his shoulder for a moment trying to figure out who he had available.
Be very, very bad or difficult. Both fullbacks are coming
run,
over.
yeah. Especially if the ball was on the near side. We've seen stranger things. Meduninen trying to step in to poke the ball away. We were talking about it before we came on the air today. The only scenario in which Atlanta was not in the playoffs here in 2021, where if they were to lose to Cincinnati by more than 8 goals. How rare has that been? Or how rare would that be? Well, it's never happened that a team has lost by 8 in Major League Soccer history. There's only been 4 times in the entire 26 years that a team has lost by 7. Header there by Joseph Martinez. Unable to finish. Then Martinez takes a shot and Vermeer makes a massive save. Bello keeps it alive. Atlanta on the attack, trying to find that equalizer in the direction of Martinez, headed away. Vasquez sends it out. Martinez was right at the edge of the 6-yard area, took the shot at point-blank range, and Vermeer answered the bell. Hernandez to Araujo. Into the 18, out to Hernandez, takes a shot. He was trying to hook it to that far post, and it went way wide.
Well, you can kind of see this. Martinez just finding space, and really the last 5 minutes I've noticed too, he's been able to play in between both center backs, but they've got to recognize too, as soon as it gets into the 18-yard box, they've got to go from zonal to man. They can't give Joseph Martinez that time and space. We talked about, Gustavo Vallecilla too, just before halftime, holding his back. It's interesting if he can last the remainder of this game. I think right now this is a critical stage of the game too.
Well, you remember he missed a handful of games with that hamstring injury. So he just joined the team for training this week, and we talked to Tyrone Marshall about it. Alex asked the question, how long would he be able to last in this match? Can he go for 90 minutes? And the thought was, hey, let's get to 60 and then see how things go over the final half an hour. But you're right, it's something to keep an eye on because there's not another natural center back. It would probably be Caleb Stenko dropping back onto the back line if Vallecilla had to come off.
Well, look, I'm not putting a direct blame for Joseph Martinez finding space just on that, but
here's a chance. Mulroney puts it over Vermeer, and it was too high over the frame. Mulroney got loose inside of the penalty area.
And just right on cue, what my point was, that there's going to be a lot more kind of positive passes played into that space. Trying to challenge the centre backs, and they've got to be able to deal with this pressure. This is this long pass. And Mulroney gets on it. It's a good first touch with his chest, sets it up and just tries to dink it over, just overhits it. But again, in between both centre backs, this is something that's got to become a little bit tighter. Not a little bit, a lot more tighter.
Great opportunity there for Atlanta. Both teams now with 7 shots in the match. Atlanta's had 2 on target, Cincinnati 3, and Tyrone Marshall has called some subs over. Looks like Alan Cruz and Joe Zhao will be the first 2 to come onto the match for Cincinnati. Mulroney in the direction of Martinez. Blackett stabs it away.
I think one of those centre backs has got to take on kind of the responsibility as soon as you get into that attacking third for Atlanta with possession. They do move from zonal to man and just try to deny Martinez any space or time to get on the ball.
Costa. Up. And he backheeled it there from Matarrita, but not strong enough. Araujo across to Martinez, deflected away. Barco follows. His shot knocked away. Barco another chance, deflected off Cincinnati. A corner coming for Atlanta as United has the orange and blue under fire here in the second half.
And Acosta has to have a better understanding where he's at.
Right.
He tries a backheel, and this is where this attack comes from. Not once, but twice here. And again, we talked about management of the game. You're in your own defensive third. You're trying to build out. It's not the time to flick and try to be fancy.
And now a corner kick. Barco across the penalty area. Cleared away. Araujo. Over to the left. Mulroney. Back to Barco. Into the penalty area. Brenner standing in his face. Medunjanin collides with Barco, who will go down. Across Martinez looking for a header. No. Miles Robinson keeps it, pokes at the ball, and then Acosta out towards midfield. Barco remains down, grabbing his ankle. Mulroney will chase the ball to the far side. Barco literally in the penalty area as Atlanta on the attack, right in the direction of Barco. Drawn back, Stanko will clear the ball out across midfield. And now Atlanta can attend to Ezequiel Barco, who is down in a bit of pain.
Well, finally gives FC Cincinnati a chance to try to catch their breath and hit reset. But, you know, Tom, we talked about what to expect in the second half. Atlanta have totally changed. We talked about the change in system, but just their attitude and their work rate as well. This is the Barco tackle, and again, I think it's more of maybe a twisted ankle. I don't think there was contact from Haris Medunjanin. I'm just trying to sell just a little bit. Obviously, he's in the box.
But at some point, you got to get up there. Your team's back on the attack. Barco now working his way back into play. Cincinnati has their first two substitutions set to come on. That'll happen right about the 1 hour mark. Miles Robinson out in the midfield. Brenner tried to step and poke it away, was unable to do so. It's played across the middle right to Acosta. Brenner. Cincinnati 4-on-4. Brenner held on to it a bit too long. He had Yuya, Kubo, and Vasquez to his right. Didn't make the pass, and Atlanta was able to close in defensively. Araujo then played it forward. Joseph Martinez, you can see how frustrated he is right now. The ball was played to the right. Martinez was over to the left, and he was just throwing his arms in the air, screaming after that missed pass. Atlanta certainly knows what is on the line here on decision day. That a chance for a home playoff match might be slipping away. Our player substitutions are presented by Penn Station East Coast Subs, the official cheesesteak of FC Cincinnati, and Zico Bailey, who scored the go-ahead goal for the orange and blue. In the 21st minute, his first in Major League Soccer, will come out. Joe Zhao into the match. And then we will see Alan Cruz check in, and he is going to replace Brandon Vasquez, so it'll be interesting to see if he falls back more into the midfield to give Cincinnati some support.
Yeah, well, we talked about that just with the change, right, of trying to match three in midfield, and Barco really, like I said, has got a free role, but now it's that 4-5-1 versus 4-5-1. I think with Alan Cruz, he's going to have specific instructions. It's going to be key for him to come into this game and to be able to execute those instructions.
For Alan Cruz, it's his 58th MLS appearance in 3 years. Barco foots it to the far side. Bello right at the corner of the 18. 60th minute, Atlanta trailing by a goal. Over to the near side. And back to Miles Robinson. Rossetto. Robinson and Franco working along the back line. Here's Robinson. Over to the left side in the direction of Bello. Zhao steps in the way to intercept. Brenner heads it on to the right side, and Kubo has some room to work. If he can get to that ball first, he does. Cincinnati trying to work in transition. Brenner's going to have to track back, and Kubo cutting inside, ran into a pair of defenders. Now Atlanta trying to get forward quickly. Barco over to the left. Mulroney looking for a cross. Came off of Jojo. Corner kick to Atlanta. Mentioned that 58th appearance for Alan Cruz. He's now the all-time leader in appearances for FC Cincinnati, passing Nick Haglund, who has 57. Good no pass to us from Alex Steck down on the pitch. Here's the cross for Atlanta on the corner, headed on by Miles Robinson, but he goes over the frame, and a goal kick coming for Vermeer. Get the FC Cincinnati credit and debit cards and get special fan offers and discounts available exclusively through First Financial Bank. Apply today at bankatfirst.com/FC Cincinnati. First Financial Bank, member FDIC. Vermeer plays it forward to the foot of Stanko. Matheus into the midfield. Kubo. Medunian in. Kubo off his chest. Kubo loses the ball because he was pulled down, and the foul's whistled on Atlanta, much to their chagrin. And it's interesting, as this game wears on, you can start to see Atlanta a bit more frustrated, as I think they came in and thought it would be easy to get the win today, and then they would go into the dressing room and find out what seed they were, and that hasn't been the case.
Well, I think the other thing, too, we talked about management of the game. You know, FC Cincinnati again have been maybe exposed at times in this first 15 minutes plus of the second half, but they've still managed that pressure. Well, for Atlanta, they kind of threw quite a lot at it, and look, they're going to continue to. You know, they have the talent, they should have the experience as well, but as long as FC Cincinnati continue to remain compact defensively, they have to manage those transitional moments a little bit better, though. And I think they can continue to frustrate Atlanta.
Bello off to Ibarra, looking for a cross in the direction of Martinez. Viacia found it first. It's going to come out to Araujo. Luis Araujo looking for a shot with his left foot, finally launches a rocket, but it heads a bit too much towards the sky, well over the frame.
Yeah, this again, talented player too, and a player that can certainly change games. Comes in on his left foot, finds the space, just unable to hit the target, but he's going to remain a threat as this half goes on.
See Atlanta keeping three players high for a press if Cincinnati was going to play it short. Instead, Vermeer out across midfield. Monterita not able to collect, and Araujo in the midfield with Medunian in there, unable to take it off his foot. Barco towards Martinez. Martinez turned on the ball, trying to take a shot that was set up for a perfect Joseph Martinez moment, and he did not get a shot off. Not going to see Joseph Martinez whiff on chances like that very often. And here comes a yellow card on Ronald Hernandez. See Nima Sagafi saying that was one too many fouls. Second booking of the match, first for Atlanta. Let's go back to that opportunity for Martinez to pull it even.
Again, look, he finds the space. And he's such a clever player. He's a player of great ability, but this time doesn't get the right contact on it. He's just a little off balance. You can see this is again, just playing out of the pressure. Acosta under serious pressure. It's a foul, but FC Cincinnati, you talked about frustration from Atlanta, and it's one thing, to cause Atlanta frustration, but when they're not succeeding in those attacking opportunities, I think the best way to frustrate them further, though, is in possession and trying to make them chase a lot more. And FC Cincinnati haven't been able to do that in the second half. They haven't had convincing possession. They've defended well at times. We talked obviously about just kind of the space in between the centre backs, but as a unit, I think they've stayed pretty disciplined.
A foul there was whistled on Luciano Acosta, much to his chagrin. He thought he had broken free from Hernandez. Rossetto back to Ibarra. Atlanta's getting set to make a couple more substitutions. Again, no Marcelo Moreno. He had a foot injury and not available for this game. Did not make the trip. Kubo's going to be whistled for a foul on the far side. Got tangled up there with Jake Mulroney. We'll see what buttons Gonzalo Pineda is trying to push here. with 25 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in the regular season finale for both these teams.
Well, FC Cincinnati they can't kind of sit in and just expect to defend and try to get a result. It's not going to happen. Atlanta have got too much talent. They've got to be able to get a foothold in the attacking side of this game, to push Atlanta back and spread them out, further frustrate them.
Barco will set to put it back in play. A step inside of the far touchline. All the targets lined up right about the penalty spot. Barco swings it towards the goal, headed down. Miles Robinson was there, then cleared away by Yuya Kubo. Great look there for Atlanta, but it comes up empty.
What is Kenneth Vermeer doing?
I have no idea. The ball was live, and Kenneth Vermeer must have thought it was a goal kick. He was behind the goal looking for a ball. Man, he's lucky Atlanta just didn't launch a shot. Here's Araujo.
Honestly, Tommy, for a second, I didn't know what happened, but he just walked off. So bizarre. This is the ball that comes in. He's out of position there. He gets up.
I think he thought the ball went wide, and therefore it was a goal kick, but Miles Robinson hit the post. Barco on the corner kick. Swings it into the box. Far post. Martinez knocks it down. Kubo chops it away. Araujo sends it back. Alan Cruz with a piece to send it forward. Atlanta chasing points in the hope of a home playoff match here on decision day as the foul is whistled just outside of the penalty area, about 10 yards away. And a dangerous spot coming here for Atlanta. Lennon, who is a regular starter for Atlanta, is getting set to come onto the match, as is Jürgen Damm. Lennon's going to replace Hernandez, who was just booked, and go into his natural spot on the right side. Let's see if these substitutions come. Yes, they will before the free kick, it appears. Be Ibarra coming off to make room for Jürgen Damm. See Jürgen Damm trying to inject some energy. I'm sorry, that was Brooks Lennon into his team as he comes out onto the pitch. So free kick coming for Atlanta. We'll call it from about 30 yards away as we're in the 68th minute. Only one goal so far in this match. Araujo sends the ball towards the 18, headed away in the direction of Mulroney. Medunjanin taps it forward. Joe Giles is going to try to break free, dragged down in the midfield. And no whistle from the match official, Nima Sagafi. Said it was a clean challenge. Lennon with boos pouring in from the crowd. Rossetto over to the left, Bello. Martinez. Back to Rossetto. Damm on the near side with Lennon, who just came onto the match. Lennon into the 18. Stenko pushes the ball away. It'll go out on the end line, and another corner kick coming for Atlanta. It'll be their 8th corner kick of the match. Lennon from the near side to the left of Kenneth Vermeer. Onto the far post, headed into the air in the direction of Martinez. Cincinnati is there defensively. Atlanta able to keep the possession. Sent back. Rossetto flicked it on via Sia. Just swung his hips trying to do something with the ball. It goes out to the end line, and here comes a quick corner from Atlanta. Barco swinging it across towards Martinez, and it gets past Kenneth Vermeer. As Miles Robinson was there for Atlanta, and the 5 stripes pull even in the 70th minute.
Well, again, it was a quick set piece and corner kick, and the ball's played in. Miles Robinson just gets enough on it too. There's a challenge. from Alan Cruz, but to see this ball as it comes off, was there a deflection or not? We might see it in a replay from a different angle, but Matheus Robinson in that right position at the right time. We talked about it, Tommy. Atlanta been knocking on his door since the second half started.
First career Major League Soccer goal for Miles Robinson, who will play again at this stadium in 5 days for the U.S. men's national team. Brenner is caught offside going the other way. And how about the second half shots? 11 for Atlanta, not a 1 for FC Cincinnati. I think the crowd here a little bit shocked on that corner kick. Harris Medunian limping a little bit. Nashville and New York tied at 1 apiece. New York City down a man and pulled even with Philadelphia at 1, and DC still leading Toronto 3-1 in the second half. All those games at about the same point as ours. Mulroney on the far side. Kubo. No doubt Atlanta now trying to find that second goal and go up. Keep their hopes of a home playoff match alive. Lennon near side. They need a win plus a New York City loss and an Orlando loss or tie to get that fourth and final top 4 seed, which would mean a home game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 72nd minute, 1-1. George Bello retreating a bit off to Rossetto. Calvin Harris comes out to midfield and set to check on for Cincinnati. Dam into the 18. Turning on it was Barco. It took a deflection. Cincinnati was able to clear it away to the far side. Barco hustling over. Now Harris Medunian and is crumpled down to the turf, and Harris is going to need some medical attention, and I think Cincinnati's going to need a sub for veteran Harris Medunian. Yeah, he's signaling for a sub, and look, Harris has played these last 2 years with Cincinnati, 148 appearances in Major League Soccer, 36 years of age. Is he is going to limp off? I hope it's not for the final time in MLS. It may be.
Well, I agree with you, Tommy. I hope it's not. I mean, again, a player that, for me, is a true pro. Player that's come into this team, again, at a stage where it's rebuilding. And you wish you had a guy like him maybe 5 years ago when he was at the top of his career, too. And again, credit to him. It's not a reflection of the last couple of seasons because the guy has talent. He's a leader on the field. And FC Cincinnati are a better team when he's starting and when he's playing. But we noticed it as he was coming across to apply pressure just in the center circle. He pulled up very, very sharply. Maybe he pulled his thigh or maybe even his groin. I think for FC Cincinnati, the remainder of this game, that's the first thing they've got to try to figure out.
Alvaro Barreal will come into the match to replace him. As Harris walks off for the final time this season. His son was born last year and lives in Israel, so he doesn't get to see his family very often, and obviously has had a fantastic career. It'll be interesting to see what he decides is next, as well as what options are on the table for Harris Medunian. But you're right, a true pro in all class. Every time you have a conversation with him or get a chance to chat with him at training, a good role model for the young soccer players here in Cincinnati. A misfire there from Alan Franco trying to send the ball forward. Will end up on the end line. That'll allow Cincinnati to officially make this substitution as Alvaro Barreal had to get dressed quickly. And Harris putting his warm-up top on right down to the dressing room for number 6. And Alvaro Barreal onto the match. His 33rd appearance of the season, 38th in Major League Soccer. Certainly gives Cincinnati an option moving forward in the attack, trying to get a goal back and jump back on top. Biasia with pressure in the midfield, off to Stenko. Over to Matarrita near side. Mata trying to connect with Alan Cruz, unable to do so. Barreal over on this side of the pitch as well. Costa will draw the ball in the midfield, and he looks to his fellow Argentine, Barreal. Barreal into the box in the direction of Kubo. It takes a deflection off of Atlanta. No, they're going to say it came off of Yuya Kubo, so a goal kick for Brad Guzan quickly.
We'll talk about an immediate impact too, and just comes in and whips this in. Defender, I think it was Matheus Robinson, actually lost his footing too, but comes off of Yuya Kubo's shin.
Going back to that goal for Miles Robinson, his first in Major League Soccer. You talk about a guy who has scored for the U.S. men's national team. Here's a chance. Brenner over to the right. Acosta. Acosta into the 18. Goes down. Left it for Brenner. Turns, fires, deflects off Bello. Kubo tried to win it on the volley. Wasn't able to do so, and Rossetto will clear out to the midfield. But for Miles Robinson, it took 87 matches as a foul's whistled against Cincinnati, and Atlanta have the free kick. 87 career MLS matches before goal number 1 for Miles Robinson. And it's a big one because it pulls his team even here on the road on decision day. Araujo with Barreal on his back. Over to the left, George Bello. Back to Franco. On to the near side, Dam. 14 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Cruz not able to knock it away from Lennon, who sends it back to his goalkeeper, Guzan. Bello misplays the ball, lands on the foot of Acosta, but he has 3 white jerseys around him and somehow gets rid of it and finds Yuya Kubo, who stays on his feet, knocks the ball forward, and Nima Sagafi finally will blow the whistle. After all that.
And that one I think helps. Again, just talking about, you know, since Atlanta started the second half, they've been the aggressor. I see Cincinnati have had moments of weakness where they've been out of position, out of shape. I think if they're to keep this scoreline as it is, they've got to establish control.
No delayed flag on that attack by Cincinnati. Caught offside was Luciano Acosta. Barco misplays the ball. Martinez, and again you can see Joseph Martinez just kind of shrugging his shoulders and throwing his hands in the air as he's had a frustrating afternoon against a team that he usually has great success against. 5 career goals against the orange and blue. Barreal back to Blackett. Out of Vermeer inside of the 18. Both teams with 3 shots on goal, but Atlanta now 17 shots in the match to just 8 for Cincinnati. Lennon. Araujo over to the right side. Dam looking for a cross in the direction of Martinez. Knocked into the air by Blackett. Martinez, a world-class strike from Joseph Martinez. His 6th against Cincinnati gives Atlanta the comeback here in the second half.
He talked about his frustrations. Forget about that. Like, I have this ability, it just takes one chance. You talk about technique. Concentration, watches it the entire way, wraps his hips around and smashes it into the side netting. What a volley, what a goal, and what a player Martinez is. Unbelievable strike.
The magical Joseph Martinez, his team high 12th goal of the season. In just 24 appearances this season, he has owned Cincinnati and punishes them here late in the second half. And now an orange and blue side that has not had much life in the final third here in the second half, trail by a goal. With 10 minutes in stoppage time left on the 2021 season. Cruz's pass is turned over, and Barco working his way forward. Rainey back to Rossetto, and we'll go back to the center backs. At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Visit your tri-state Buick dealer today. Guzan hammers the ball forward in the direction of Barco, and he'll skip past him. Be interesting now. Does Atlanta go into time kill mode, or do they try to get one more and seal it?
Oh, they don't need to change anything, really.
Yeah,
They've got possession of the ball. They're in control of the game. It's FC Cincinnati that need to try to change.
I mean, none of the passes are even being completed right now by the orange and blue as they try to just get the ball across midfield. Dam back to Lennon. And what started with such promise with the goal from Zico Bailey in the 21st minute as Calvin Harris gets set to come on as a substitution for Yuya Kubo. This match has turned into an unfortunate reminder of how the season has gone for this club. Look, it started in the first match of the season. 2 goals in the first 15 minutes at Nashville. And it looked like it was a new day for FC Cincinnati, and the Nashville scored twice, actually dominated the rest of that match. Ended in a 2-2 draw thanks to some magnificent saves from Przemysław Titan. A foul was committed out in the midfield. And from there, it's been a 4-21-8 campaign. 9th and final match as interim head coach, we assume, for Tyrone Marshall, as Cincinnati sends it in on the free kick. Caleb Stanko not able to keep it alive at the end line. Brad Guzan screaming at Nima Sagafi after that free kick. Goal kick coming for Atlanta. Cincinnati first will be able to make the substitution. Yuya Kubo will come off. And Calvin Harris in. So Kubo has put on his final shift, and young rookie Calvin Harris will come on one more time. His 16th appearance, missed some time this season with injury. Of course, he was a starter at the beginning of the year, if you remember. And Guzan will wait to put the ball into play. Out across midfield. Headed away into the middle, Rossetto. Stanko on to Barreal. Back to Matarrita. Able to get around Dam. Forward towards Acosta. Luciano Acosta unable to get around Miles Robinson. Then he does. Just when you would have thought he maybe gave up, he didn't. Brenner into the 18. Back to Cruz. Cruz looking for a shot. Takes a deflection off of Alan Franco to the end line. Corner kick for Cincinnati, but a great job there by Acosta staying with that ball and setting it all up.
Yeah, it's a good ball across from Ronald Matarrita, just knocked it in. As you mentioned too, Acosta finds the space. Miles Robinson had overcommitted slightly. Worked the ball back to Alan Cruz.
5th corner kick of the match. Barreal strikes it. Headed away. Joseph Martinez cleared to the far side, and the orange and blue will have a throw in. One of the Atlanta players is down right by Brad Guzan. Atlanta was getting set to make a substitution. Joseph Martinez will be called off, and George Campbell, a defender, brought on. That tells you where Gonzalo Pineda's thinking right now. Taking off his world-class striker who just gave his team the lead. And bringing George Campbell into the match. Free kick here for Guzan. Out into the midfield, over the head of Dam. Stanko. Onto the right side, Zhao. Trying to work it forward, knocked off of his foot, throwing to Cincinnati. 85th minute. Tom Glader, Kevin McCloskey, sideline reporter Alex Steck, our producer David Ashbrock, and our entire hardworking crew happy to be with you on a beautiful fall afternoon. Matarrita towards the 18, headed away. Barreal stepped to the ball to try to take it away from Araujo, was unable to do so. Rossetto, then Araujo is taken down by Brenner, but able to keep it alive. Then Araujo, a reckless tackle into the back of Alvaro Barreal, and he lands in the book. Cincinnati is livid with Luis Araujo. I think Brenner went over to have a few words with his fellow countrymen after the foul.
Well, that's a late challenge. You see Barreal just takes that touch, and it's certainly late. The referee's in a great position too. Araujo, I don't think can complain at all.
No. Completely a fair booking. And I think it was a bit of frustration as he had lost the challenge seconds before that. Matarrita now a chance to set things up. Look at Brad Guzan again. You can see him in the corner of your frame screaming some instructions. Now Costa comes over as well. Matarrita serves it towards the 18, deflected off to the far side. Vallecilla gives chase. Throw into Cincinnati. Vallecilla towards Barreal, who lost his footing. Alvaro Barreal crumples down in pain, slow to his feet, and will play the ball forward. Costa commits a foul then on the far side. So a free kick for Atlanta. 5 stripes trying to close in on what would be their 11th win since the start of August. Certainly a massive turnaround when Gonzalo Pineda was brought on. Well, part of the equation that would give them a home match was Orlando losing or tying, and Orlando's winning 2-0. So Atlanta's not going to have a home playoff match in 2021, but they are certainly in. That was pretty much sealed up when the night began. Blackett forward in the direction of Calvin Harris. Harris will battle with Franco on the far side. Acosta. Cruz. Sending it towards the penalty area, deflected away. Comes out to Jow. Vallecilla forward in the direction of Barreal. And it was there defensively. Matarrita trying to catch up in the midfield. Ends up taking down Araujo, and now Ronald Matarrita will land in the book here in the 88th minute.
You see Matarrita just got caught out of position a little bit, and again I think this is obviously a professional foul. Just try to stop, but there was a bit of a stamp as well. You just got to be careful.
Right.
Our position, obviously going back to the Barreal tackle, it was Araujo that was involved in that.
I think
you saw his teammates obviously step up and try to have Barreal's back, but I think for Matarrita, he was looking at that instance. It was just a yellow card.
Gonzalo Pineda is getting set to make his final substitution and bring Eric Torres into the game. He will replace Barco, who you see trotting off to the far side. So Torres checks in. Barco plenty active tonight for Atlanta. Torres' his 20th appearance of the season. Atlanta now a minute plus stoppage time away from win number 13. And important points as they set up seeding in the playoffs. Dam was caught offside. Cincinnati trying to give their fans another goal. A great crowd out tonight, a lot of enthusiasm. Final match 2021. Turn the page and hope for improvement next season. Chris Albright leading the charge during the offseason. Vermeer His ball's intercepted. Costa with a touch in the direction of Brenner. Headed away, Miles Robinson. Robinson tied the match in the 70th minute. Martinez gave Atlanta the lead in the 79th. Saying just a minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time to be tacked on here. As I can see, you can't see him on the screen, but Tyrone Marshall just kind of in disbelief that there are not more than 2 minutes. There have been quite a few injuries, substitutions, bookings, goals here in the second half. Barreal. Acosta. Cincinnati trying to catch up to the ball. It caught Jurgen Damm's hand, so a free kick coming from the near side. And a break there for the orange and blue. Acosta was trying to get it off quickly. Monterita and Acosta will stand over the ball. Does Cincinnati have any magic left this season? We're going to find out right here. Acosta will drift away now. Monterita with his left foot into the 18. Guzan reaches above everybody, pulls it down, and goes hard down to the pitch. Well, he's going to take an extra moment to catch his breath. I think a bit of gamesmanship here to kill a little bit of the clock off. A little bit of 37 years old. Come on. Brad Guzan knows what he's doing, and the fans in the Bailey are booing their disapproval of the situation. Guzan will send it out across midfield. Dam will head the ball down. Atlanta now just about 30 seconds away from a decision day comeback. They trailed 1-0 at the half, and now they are just a final whistle away from 3 more points as they head to the 2021 MLS Cup playoffs. Cincinnati will have a throw in on the far side, and let's see how much rope they have to try to get up the pitch and make something happen. 2 minutes have rolled off the clock. Jow will take the throw in. The extra ball comes out. Jow will throw it on to Cruz. Cruz hammers it forward, and Brenner will give chase. Headed down to Brad Guzan. Fireworks just went off at the stadium. Well, didn't quite have a full-time whistle yet. Guess they figured they'd fire off whatever was left from the pyro stash. Guzan down across midfield. And there is the full-time whistle. A decision day comeback is complete. Joseph Martinez, the decisive strike. Brad Guzan today, 3 saves for Atlanta, and United has win number 13 as they head to the playoffs. And for Cincinnati, the season comes to a close with a bit more disappointment.